Hello, everyone. I think I'm online now. I'm trying something new. I've got a wired internet connection finally. So, with a bit of luck, I'm hoping we have no lag tonight. My voice shouldn't cut out intermittently as it usually does, and we should have a good show. I'm just trying to get a few things sorted quickly here before we begin. I know normally I play a bit of music or the guitar, but tonight I'm taking it easy. I'm just trying to ease back into these shows. I've had a bit of a break. I've been working on a few things in my personal life, which we should all do every now and then if we're in the conspiracy game. And gunning for a promotion, which I got. So I'm very happy about that. You know, all good things come to those who wait, and I think I've waited long enough for this, and that's something I thought I'd share with you guys there. I want to talk about a few things tonight. Trying to talk while I'm multitasking here, but I want to talk first of all about the Mandela effect. We'll wait for a few people to come in first. The Mandela effect is something I've covered once on my channel. It was, well, how long ago now? 2014, it must have been 2015 maybe. I forget, it's 2017 now. I've been doing this for about 5-6 years, but yeah, it was a couple of years ago, and I talked to a guy who had a channel named Subtle Infinity about it, and I wanted to get the two perspectives on this together, the Christian truth of perspective and the New Age truth of perspective, to try and tackle this new phenomena known as the Mandela effect. I'm sure it needs no real introduction to my audience here. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is and you're watching this video, probably isn't for you. I'm not going to go into trying to describe this for you in this, casual talk, what the Mandela effect is, but I recommend you go and look into that and go down the rabbit hole yourself. And one thing that's worried me though about the Mandela effect is its effects on the minds of those who research it. Now, it's a fascinating theory. Is it happening? Isn't it happening? Are things literally changing in our reality around us every other day? And are minor aesthetic details being changed from our memories, which tell us otherwise? Is it happening, or is it mass misremembering? It seems highly unlikely it would be mass misremembering, considering the volumes of people who seem to think this is going on. But the debate aside of whether it's true or false, its psychological ramifications on those who really get into this theory online are real. And it's something that kind of worries me as I watch it unfold. And what I'm trying to find here is a link. A good friend on YouTube sent me. I'm not going to bother naming names because it doesn't matter. But they sent me a link to this person's YouTube channel where she had made a testimony about why she's leaving behind the Mandela effect. And to me, I thought, well, this is interesting, because this is what I've been thinking about recently. The psychological effects this is having on people is detrimental. It's driving them insane, is what I thought. I could just see that it was causing a lot of confusion and fear in the hearts and minds of those who would look at the Mandela effect. To imagine that your whole reality is constantly changing around you, and you can't get a grip on the cognitive landscape of your own reality. People begin to struggle to navigate in that kind of world, and become recluse and fearful of doing anything. And that's not really what I want. That's not really a healthy way of living, I suppose. And it's something which I feel is holding back a lot of researchers. Because the thing about a topic like the Mandela effect, it's an interesting topic because it's a lot like the flat Earth, in that many truthers latch onto the theory because it's so huge and so complicated and a real mind fuck, to pardon my French, that people get stuck on it and never really leave that theory and explore other things. And it becomes all encompassing for their character, and it's like, I am a flat earther, or I am a Mandela affected individual, and they integrate it into their personality to the point where, like I said, they don't leave, they get plateaued, they stay on that level. And of course, the conspiracy realm is vast. There's many things out there which need to be researched as well. A lot of attention needs to be focused on many other things, you know. And my personal opinion on the Mandela effect is that, you know, even though if minor things are changing around me, the overall structure of reality isn't changing, to my knowledge. Even though I can see the minor changes that people point out, it hasn't affected everything to the point where I can't function in the world normally. As much as it has to these people who claim everything's different now and they can't really go on. And that just doesn't seem to make sense to me. If a topic in the conspiracy world is having that much of a psychological effect on somebody, it tells me there's probably something about this theory which may be suspect. We should probably pay closer attention to it. Is it useful to dwell on this type of topic, you know, in the large scale of the truth of culture? I think I found it here. So I'm going to play this testimony of this woman. It's about 10 minutes long, and then we'll have a discussion about it in the chat. You know, a bit of a back and forth. I want to know what you guys think about this as well. I hope you find it interesting. But yeah, this is a testimony from a girl who has decided to leave it all behind because of the detrimental effect it had on her life and her mind and her walk with God as well, of course. So here we go. So let me screen share here. All right. Good stuff. And let me go back to the video. Okay, guys, so let me know in the chat if this is loud enough. I'll be using that on my phone.
I may make more, maybe, talking about Jesus and the Bible, those sort of things, but I'm giving up on the Mandela effect and sync testing. And while it sure has been a wild ride, it's not worth it because it's destroyed my life in many ways. And I have to stop taking my focus off of Christ and put it back on him, because that's all the Mandela effect and all this did was take me away from Jesus. So I want to share my testimony with you. November 12th, 2012, I was at the end of my ropes and I wanted to end my life. And, you know, shotgun sounded pretty good. I was debating on how I was going to write my goodbye letter to my family and my friends. I was in a very, very abusive relationship at the time. Things weren't working out at work. Everything was falling apart. I was depressed. I had PTSD, anxiety, and I wanted it to go away. But at the last moment, I actually called out for God, please help me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And he answered within that moment. I saw myself in this river of bright light, and I was looking at myself as a child, probably about 5 years old. I used to attend church as a child. I was close to Jesus back then, and I saw myself drinking out of something in this river, and I thought, why am I drinking out of this river? No one drinks out of a river, it's dirty. But I looked again, and the river was completely clean and bright, beautiful water, and a voice spoke. And it was Jesus. And I said, what is this? And he said, I will show you a symbol of water. It's a symbol of water. And he repeated, I will show you a symbol of water. And that was to confirm that this was real. It was Jesus speaking to me. And within a very instant, it was like snap back to reality. I had a phone call, and it was from, on the call ID, it said Canteen Services. And it hit me because I was drinking out of a canteen in that river that I had just saw. I laid the phone down, and there I repented of all my sin. And I said, God, just take control. I need help. And he told me to fast for 3 days and get rid of all of my witchcraft stuff, all of this occultist stuff that I was involved in. And it would be better. I knew from that moment that my life had changed. And my book, the book of life, had my name in it now. It was the most amazing thing. No sync, no Mandela effect could ever trump that, ever. But now the Mandela effect has taken over a lot of people. It's caused obsession, infatuation. People pry on it. They love it. So it's a thrill. And it's ink testing. It's interesting. But I truly believe a lot of it is divination. And when God speaks to you, you know his voice. You will know him. So I ended up getting rid of everything. And during my journey, I faced many hardships. I had to let go of so many things. And I didn't want to take my Ankh necklace off. And I didn't realize this, but on the day of Lent, God said, get rid of that necklace, clear as day. I didn't know it was Lent, but I took it off and I threw it in the garbage. And later on, I found out that it was Lent, where you give up something for God. And a lot of people fast. He told me to fast for 3 days. I had been drinking heavily a few months prior before this suicidal event. I wanted it to happen. And during that fast, I had seen a demonic entity in my room, and its face kept changing. It looked a lot like that ink guy, that superhero guy from The Watchmen. But it stared at me, and its face kept changing. And it was angry, because these demonic entities, people think they're spirit guides, but they're not. Once you turn to Christ, they change face completely. And anyways, later that night, my ex-boyfriend called me, the abusive one, and he said he was tripping on acid. And he said that there was an entity that called himself God. And he described what it looked like, almost exactly what I had seen in my room. That thing with its face changing. He said, yeah, its face looks a lot like ink blots, and it keeps changing. And it's telling me I can be a god. And that terrified me, because it was after him. And he allowed it. I don't know what his life is like today, but I pray for him. But I found my faith that day. And now I'm faced again with hardships because I have dove right into the Mandela effect. And I need to let it go. I don't need to be afraid. My life is literally falling apart right now. My stress is so high. My anxiety is so high. I've only drank once. But even drinking once, when God told me not to, I didn't listen. I was so stressed. But I opened that door again. And it made my house dirty. So now I'm in the process of cleaning house, and that light is never going to come off again. Jesus is always going to be in my house. And those things are never going to come back, because it's destroyed my life. It's made me a liar. It's made me mean. It's made me feel crazy. But I didn't listen. And now I have to face the consequences of not listening. And I'm praying that God has mercy on me. So I ask that you just pray for me and my family situation, because things are extremely difficult right now. And I just want it all to go away. I did things that I'm not proud of because I panicked. I listened to the spirit of fear and anger because it worked through other people, making me feel afraid and scared that I'd be homeless, that I'm going to be used, that I'm being lied to and conspired against. And I listened to those voices of those people, when in reality, I knew better. But I listened anyway, when God told me everything would be okay. And I did something. I lied. I don't like to admit that I lied, but we all do. The Mandela effects that I created, I didn't lie about. I put so much time and energy into that, and it took it away from the things that I love most in my life, and it damaged people. So I know that this thing is not good. I've seen some good things come out of it, but I just can't do it anymore. So I'm just trying to be honest here and speak my heart. And I hope if you're struggling with these things, just pray. Ask Jesus to take it away and to guide you always, because my discernment is sure running low, and I need to get back to where I was, the strong person I used to be, the wise person from the wisdom that God gave me. I need to change, and only Jesus can make that change for me. Thank you for listening to my testimony. I really appreciate it. And I love all you guys. You're wonderful. I've made some awesome friends. That's the only positive thing that's come out of this. Don't be enslaved by it. Don't be captivated by it, like a moth drawn to the flame. It can destroy you, and if you let it, it will. Guard yourself. Keep that light on of Jesus Christ in your house, in your temple. Without it, you may end up like me. And I don't want to see people hurting anymore. Come as children to God and ask for his wisdom, his kindness, and his love and guidance. Thank you, guys. God bless you all.
All right, and there we go. Very, quite an intense little talk, really. See if we can get this back up.